Oh my goodness. Poppy wins tonight. Poppy in first. Steve Burrows from Detroit. Mike Draco, hell yeah, it must be Sunday. Thank God it's Sunday, right? Brad Kilpatrick in with us. Greg White in from Texas. Jeremy Sadler. Lisa Ballard, the queen of Chop Cult, joining us this evening. Good to see you here. Hey man, this is Chris with Cycle Source Magazine, and it is Sunday. Wait a minute, I gotta get my effect rack. Sunday. Time for Shop Talk. We're going live with this one, just 3.5 minutes, and man, do we got the good stuff. John DeVrays, sorry about that, Galveston, Texas. Steve Henderson in with us. Big D, Marengo, Illinois. Amy Keene in the house. What's up? So good to see all of you guys, man. Stick around, hit the like and share button, get ready. We're going live with Shop Talk in 3.5. Mr. Bashline. Trent says, do it again, Chris, do it again. That's because he must be on the inside of some of our jokes whenever we talk about Rev Limiter Guy being out at the motorcycle rallies. Rev Limiter Guy always comes with do it again guy. Do it again, do it again. Man, you guys are filling up the lot tonight. Cincinnati in the house. Gary Macias, Sacramento, California. So good. Keith Kronoff with us. Bill Reed, finally friggin' remembered. Hey, from Diamonddale. Glad to have you here, man. Every Sunday we go live with this program. 90 to 120 minutes, all the two-wheel bullshit we can fit. It's a little program we call Shop Talk. 9 p.m. on the East Coast, we go live. Or, ish, thereabout. 2.5 minutes, we're ready to go. Stick around. Dawn Lucky Ketchum here with us. What's up to you too, brother? Billy J. Terry, Carnage on the Cannonball. Man, I've been watching along. It looks like a hard year for the Cannonball, but still totally bumming us out that we're not there. It's killing us. I want to be on the Cannonball, even with the hard luck stories. I want to be getting them all. One man with us. Good evening to you too, sir. Shop Talk. Hey, listen, we got some great stuff tonight. Everybody was at Indian Larry Block Party this weekend, and we'll have some stuff coming in from that probably in the next show. But this week we got a new segment. We're going to be bringing you guys actual feature bikes along with our products and tech and everything that we normally do. Killer guest lined up. Mr. Dave Nichols from Easy Rider Magazine, and now Easy Riders is coming back, and we're going to get the story from the man himself, the reinstated editor-in-chief once more, and they're taking it back to the old days with Easy Riders Classic. So you don't want to miss that. 40 seconds and we're going live. Brian, Swansea, Mass with us. Good to see you here too, buddy. 40 seconds. That usually, yeah, how about that? Everybody give a big happy birthday to Heather tonight. Happy birthday, Heather. We're all going to sing and shit later on, so every time you do, we hit the cash register button. But listen, we're down to 19 seconds, man, so I'm going to cut you guys loose and get the studio cranking. We're ready to go live with this episode of Shop Talk. Here we go. Okay, scooter tramps and chopper jockeys all across the land. It is just after 9 p.m. on the East Coast. That means we're close, as we've been in quite a while. Time to go live with this one. I'm your host, Chris Callen from Cycle Source Magazine, and this is Shop Talk. In case this is your first time tuning in, what is Shop Talk? 90 to 120 minutes of all the two-wheel bullshit we can fit. It's good to see all of you guys here. It's been a crazy, crazy week. It's been a crazy year, man. Really heavy, but the good times are right around the corner. I promise you, there's still motorcycles in the world, so it's all good with me. It is Heather's birthday. You have a special birthday message for Heather, Mark?
Nice. I can't then, no. She just told me no. I actually wished her a happy birthday. Told her how young she looked.
I know, right?
I lie a lot.
Yes, he told me I didn't look 59, which was very nice.
Heather's only 29 today. 29.
I have some great presents for her whenever she's ready for them, I told her.
Yep, he's got walkers and like wheelchairs and like shower chairs.
Well, you have to tell them.
I'm just gonna go to Mark's when I get old.
Well, you have to tell them we sort of have this thing going that neither of us want the other to die because we want each other to suffer as long as we possibly can. Right. So we're like pushing.
I tell Mark that I hope he lives till he's 200. Because that's how much I love Mark. No, actually, I want to thank everybody for all the birthday wishes. You guys are amazing. It's truly humbling and appreciated more than you know. So thank you very much.
Well, and this is, the little back and forth here. That's proof that this is a family, because just like a family, every once in a while you want to smack the living shit out of each other, right?
Perfect.
I wish, I don't know if I wish I was 29 again.
No, I don't.
No, I couldn't take 29 again.
I'll take 47. Though.
I don't know if I can take 29 to now. That was what I couldn't take again. So.
Oh my goodness. So what do you got from social media, Blondie? I haven't asked you that in a while.
I know. Oh, David Crumb, 19 years old. I wish. Let's see. Son of a biscuit. Keith
Son of a biscuit eater.
I was 26 to 27. Now I know he's full of poop. So Sam Sampson, Chris Raddick, Gus is in the house. I asked Gus to send us, if I sent him money, would he send me coffee? He asked how much, and I said all of it.
Oh.
How much can you legally ship at one time?
I want to know the answer to that question. How much Texas pecan can you ship across the country before it's...
That is seriously one of the best coffees ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anybody ever wants to send Chris or I anything, send Texas Pecan Coffee.
Yes, sir.
From HEB. Best coffee in the world.
Except,
wait a minute. Not best coffee in the world. Stop. Anthony Robinson's coffee is pretty badass.
There you go.
Just
Gasoline
saying.
And coffee. So listen, man.
And coffee, go check him out. It's amazing.
I don't know if we've been keeping this a really good secret or not, but we are lucky enough that the torch of the greatest chopper party that's ever happened in the history of the world, the Smokeout, the torch for that has been passed to us. And in 2022, we are going to be, check this out, back at the original Salisbury location, man, at the Rowan County Fairgrounds in Salisbury. And I cannot wait.
Me neither.
Listen, here's the coolest thing, right? So Robin went down to North Carolina for us to the hallowed halls of where they kept all the stuff from all the years, 20 years of smokeouts, right? And she picks up all the stuff and brings it back. And all week long, if you've had a hard time getting a hold of us, we've been going through CDs and unrolling banners and like just looking at everything. Like, you really do forget. I mean, we have scars and stuff, and you can say, yeah, I remember the scar on the back of my elbow. That was from Smokeout 7, and the one up here on my head was from Smokeout 2. But you forget, like, how many things were born at Smokeout, how many things came out of that whole era, and like what a special time and place it was, man. And going through the videos and the pictures was just awesome this week.
It was definitely.
I know everybody's chomping at the bit to know when. They're like, yeah, we know it was awesome. Yeah, we know we had a good time. When are we doing it again?
Yeah, I think
y'all still gotta wait just a little bit longer.
That's the cool part too. Like, everybody wants to know when it's happening. Like,
yep.
You know what I mean? They're like, what's the date? What's the date? It's like pretty cool to see the anticipation of people.
So we were waiting for a few details that one of them for sure. I wanted the Indy Larry Block party. It's a really big year for them. This is the first time, right, that they did a 2-day event.
2-day, yeah.
And had the wall of death in the middle of the city and everything. And
did you hear the story about the truck going in there?
No.
I guess they passed the exit. They couldn't go through the tunnel. They had to go through Manhattan. The post is pretty funny.
Oh boy.
So we didn't want to all overshadow that, with any of our announcements or anything. And we have just a couple small tweaks to do on the website so that can get up and running. We're going to release all of that to you guys super, super soon. What I can tell you is, if you've been to a smokeout before, or any of the last couple at least, there's not going to be any change in the price to get in, the price for camping. I think our vendor rates are the same or comparable.
Actually, I think a little bit lower, maybe.
Yeah, because the vendor spaces now come, like your first site that you buy before you expand comes with 2 wristbands. So there's a lot of great stuff that we're working on. The attitude and general makeup, like our dedication to this event is to never change it from what it is. There are plenty of other events that, this wants to be this, and for this crowd and that crowd, this was always an old chopper party. We're not here to change that at all. We just want to help keep it alive. So we're super honored for that. But speaking of digging through the old footage, if you guys have been checking out both on the Cycle Source social media feed and on Smokeout that we're now involved in too, we've been taking some of the old video footage and making little Smokeout memory videos, and we got 2 of them out on social media. The third one is going up soon, but I got it done tonight in time for the show, and I just want to roll this because, along with forgetting all the great times that we used to have, you forget how young we were. I mean, the first 2 videos were of Jeff from Sucker Punch Sally and Kevin Bass, and they were babies, dude.
Kevin looked like he was like 12.
Right?
Yeah, he does. So Jeff looks crazy young too.
Now,
like, it's nuts.
I'm going to play this video for you, and I wonder how many people that are out in the world today even recognize this cat anymore, because he's so young in this, and like, just it was far out. So let's check it out.
All the bikes here are hardcore bikes. There's no sissies here. I mean, it's like it's a real bike event like the old days. Actually, I met a bunch of old hardcore bikers when I was a young guy. They were like totally hardcore club guys. And they got me into bikes and just showed me how it was done. This is like before the shit was popular again. That's how I got into it. So, like, I needed help with tools. It wasn't like hanging out. It was kind of like, hey, I need your help. They'd be like, yeah, come with us.
Come with us. Yeah, exactly. Okay. We will show you what needs to be done with your bike.
Drink this, swallow this. So it was rad. Filming a lot with Discovery right now. Actually doing like a 13 show series, showing like how old choppers are built, not the fake shit you see now on TV.
So, dude, of course, I mean, immediately everybody's putting up Billy Lane, of course. And I know you recognize him. It's just like how young he was, and how full of piss, wind, and vinegar. What a great time, all of that.
Yeah, the Smokeout was fire from the gate. On the way there, usually
I've never been to a Smokeout. Like, I've
some
never
of the
been
best
to a
stories
Smokeout,
were on the way
now,
to it.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to be part of the Smokeout.
It was
So it's
a
going to be an
throwdown.
interesting ride.
It is a baptism by fire, my dear. I will tell you.
The best part is, like, sometimes the party doesn't happen until after the event, until you leave the event to a certain extent.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, well, dude, listen.
That's how you and I met, like hanging out after the bar actually closed, watching everybody try to find their way back to their
we used to sit and
Mark and I would sit on the pool table.
Had a one-liner about every person that walked past us. We didn't miss one person. It was awesome.
My gosh.
I did, and Dawn, yeah, I've been watching your comments, dude. That was where I first met you guys. Dawn and the Lucky Charms guys, first 5 Smokeouts, great times. We got some pictures and stuff from you guys and all of that are going up on the site and everything. We've been sneaking through all of them, but I do have a cool announcement. So the one bad thing is everyone's Smokeout memories contain memories from the Holiday Inn. Someone just put it up, right?
Yeah.
So the Holiday Inn is no longer a hotel. The Holiday Inn is now dormitories for a local college or something. But we were lucky enough, we've been on a scouting expedition, and we were lucky enough to find a hotel that's only 2 miles away from the event site that almost completely replicates the front of the Holiday Inn hotel lot, except for the size. It's not quite as big in the front like the Holiday Inn was, but we've already got all the rooms blocked off for that, so that is going to be like ground zero for all the crazy shit.
Wonder if they have office chairs.
I want to know how wide the doors are. What the hell with the office chairs?
God, I think I still have a scar on my elbow from the office chair races. That was so much fun.
So Heather, one night we got tie downs and hooked off an office chair to a motorcycle and started going around, and that was kind of fun. And then there were 2, 3, 5, 7.
Where's my insurance agent? Barb? Are you watching?
And it was going so fast that we melted the wheels off of the chairs.
Dude, they were exploding.
People went everywhere.
It was great. I don't think there was an office chair. Somebody had said that they were told there wasn't one office chair left in the hotel by the time we were done. We had them all out.
So Heather, you had wait news.
No, it wasn't wait news. It was a wait. I want to ask a question.
Oh.
So we have a lot of people here. Like Rob Dorr says that he's been to almost every one.
Yeah.
And so anybody that's been to a lot of the smokeouts, we want your pictures.
Oh my God, please.
If you have pictures, please hit me up on social media, Facebook, Instagram. You can email the office. We would love to share your memories as we.
Well, not even just that. I'm going to put out an honest plea in front of everyone here. As good as Edge was at his record keeping and everybody to putting this event on, what they weren't great at was keeping a backup of all the video and pictures and we have a bunch of it, but we need your help to fill that up, because part of what we're going to be doing is like the Smokeout Hall of Fame in one of the buildings, and we really want to document this thing. If you think about the fact, when I say it's an honor for us to take the torch on this, I mean this is an event that spanned 2 decades. Yeah. 2 decades, generations of people that have come up,
the who's who of
guys that were garage builders that turned into big builders that might not even be on the scene anymore. So anybody that has pictures or videos, please email us. Do you want them to have your email, Heather?
Yes, please.
So it's cyclesourcemain@gmail.com. We'll put that up in the comments, but yeah, we're looking for all the help we can get on that stuff.
Dick always have some fun there. And I said as cool as the smokeout was, the stories from the trips to and from.
Oh my God.
God, I couldn't even count some of the crazy stuff that happened on the road between point A and point B there. It was.
Dude, remember the time I was defending Peffer's civil liberties and I'm screaming in the cop's face? So Peffer is sitting on the sidewalk outside of a convenience store drinking a beer, and it's open container law. The cop's getting ready to search him, and I'm screaming about his civil liberties, and I'm up in the cop's face, like on my tiptoes. And as I'm doing it, I look over his shoulder, and Zummy's behind Peffer like this going. And I like back down, and everything calms down, and the police give him a warning, and he leaves. And I said, Zummy, what's going on? He goes, dude, I have one saddlebag that's completely full of pot and one saddlebag that's completely full of pills. Now, in his defense, he was dying from cancer, so he legally needed to have maybe not the pot, because that was, back then that was still a bad thing, but.
Oh, just that, and that's just one of many. That was the first time we figured out we can go rent a generator, since they wouldn't give us power one year. And we bought a generator. We called it renting, bought a generator, ran our PA. They were so mad at us the whole event. And then it was over. We dropped it back off at Walmart and went home. So it was, we used to have so much fun.
It's starting to get exciting. Chris and I have been working on the site plan the last couple of days.
Yeah.
Trying to dial some stuff in, but we're really we're trying to wait till we have all of our little duckies in a row to put out when it's going to be. But if you've ever been around us, it's hard to get our ducks in a row.
Squirrel.
They go in circles.
Squirrel.
Sometimes they're not even in the room.
Right. Yep. So we're working on it.
But we'll keep you guys posted. Hey, man, in the meantime, I want to remind you guys, you're watching Shop Talk. We go live every Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, through the courtesy of the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio, 50 floors below street level here at Cycle Source Magazine headquarters. It's 90 to 120 minutes, all the two-wheel bullshit we can fit. We do a little entertainment, some interviews, and we usually start the whole thing off with a segment we like to call the news. First up in the news tonight, and this comes in from Fox 47 News, a Charlotte man's basement is filled with close to 1 million pieces of motorcycle memorabilia. And the dirty bastard that wrote this story and outed this cat to his wife, either that or his wife just passed away and he can finally talk about it. I just want to say, so is all of our basements and garages, but no one's going to write about it, dumbass. Charlotte, Michigan. Pennants, training cards, posters, and motorcycle toys are some of the items in Wayne Cavaney's, I'm terrible with this, motorcycle memorabilia collection. A collection that fills his basement. Anything that is old and has to do with motorcycles, it just gives me a rush, he said. There are close to 1 million items in his collection, some dating back to the 1890s, Cavaney said, unsure how much his collection is worth. Like I said, dirty bastard.
She always thought he had another woman locked down in that basement.
Don't come to our house. Yeah. I don't want you, Tony. Then Hallman, don't even pipe up right now.
Oh boy.
All right, next up in the news. In this, we reported back in Sturgis of the cute little kid on the side of the road with a lemonade stand that was, raising money through donations. Well, hustler alert, like right now, 8-year-old raises over $32,000 with free lemonade stand.
Right on.
What? Listen, I'm not paying my vendor fee next year in Sturgis, and what I'm doing out there is going to have nothing to do. I'm going to do popsicles or some shit.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, it didn't. I don't know where the rest of it went, but he actually donated it to a charity. He did not keep $32,000.
No, this is a great story. Obviously, I'm just being a smart ass, but I thought you guys would like to follow up on that because, we talked about, we were like, oh, isn't that cute? The kid is enterprising. You don't know how much.
Grand?
Can you say hustle much? All right, next up, Apple says motorcycle vibrations can damage iPhone cameras. The iPhone won't be picking up good vibrations if you attach it to a bike. Hold off on purchasing that iPhone mount for your motorbike. In a new Apple support post first seen by Mac Rumors, the tech giant has warned that high amplitude vibrations, specifically those generated by high power motorcycle engines transmitted through handlebars, can damage iPhone's cameras. Okay, let's get to the crux here. Of the many things that you put your iPhone through, Apple decides to send out a public safety announcement or public awareness announcement on motorcycle vibrations. Are you effing kidding me right now?
Are they trying to tell you something?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, there's still nothing that affects the camera when you're filming fat people in porn because that's going on every day. Doesn't do anything to the lens, but
doesn't even hurt it. Yeah.
The vibration from a motorcycle, look out.
You might not want to touch your phone ever again.
Okay, back to the news. Harley Davidson will sell its retro-inspired e-bike by the end of 2021. Only if they're going to be available in the United Arab Emirates. Because when you get down to here, pre-order it for $6,000.
Right?
It's a bicycle, dude.
$6,000.
Listen,
I think so.
I hate to be the fly in the ointment, but it's cool. I'm fat, and it's hard for me to pedal a bike once in a while, but $6,000?
It ain't $6,000 cool.
Seriously, I'm buying 2 Sportster projects with that money.
Yeah, right?
And I'm still going to have pizza.
2.5 if we're lucky.
Yeah. Still, and I can still afford pizza.
Oh, my goodness.
And
anyway,
gas to go pick them up.
Right?
Let me try to do my due diligence and get through this as an honest-to-God news.
There is no due diligence.
Well, let me say it. Don't worry if you were disappointed that Harley-Davidson's first e-bikes didn't include that eye-catching vintage model. As Electric notes, Harley's Serial 1 brand now plans to sell a highly similar retro bike, the Mosh Tribute. You know what? And the name even makes me want to be even more spiteful and mean. Mosh Tribute. I don't like it. I just don't like it.
Move on.
Next.
Okay.
Next.
Enough of the electric bike stuff, I guess.
I can't wait till they come out with that snowmobile.
Oh.
Speaking of things that make me want to bang my head off the floor, Komodo says its new Riders Plus membership is the Amazon Prime for power sports enthusiasts. Oh my God, I think I've heard that somewhere before. Geared toward power sports enthusiasts, the Komodo family of brands is pleased to announce the launch of Riders Plus membership, RPM. See what they did there? Mm-hmm. That was catchy. The new membership program. I want to ask a serious question. How come Facebook doesn't ban our show for being?
I don't know.
When we do the gunshots and stuff, are they not listening? Are you not listening, Facebook?
I don't. Well, hey, I tried typing out the message on the candle that I got yesterday on Instagram today, and they took it down because it went against community standards.
David Crum, I love this. My iPhone is 10 years old. What are they smoking? Hey, speaking of Facebook community standards, how about Clint at Speed Freak?
Yeah.
Tried to put a job posting up for an auto body technician, and they took his post down, and he's been arguing with them all week.
Because he called it a body man, right?
They said it was exclusionary or prejudicial.
He was looking for a body man.
He was looking for a body man. Oh.
The whole thing needs to go away with that. Everybody needs to let it go.
Just, anybody need a job? How can you say that in a clip? Look, can you sand shit?
Yeah.
Back to the news. So let me finish off this story. The new membership program will span the company's portfolio brands, which include Revzilla, Cycle Gear, JMP Cycles, and Rever, providing premium benefits and experience for the motorcycle, e-bike, and scooter enthusiasts. The Rider Plus membership is designed to elevate the power sports enthusiast shopping and customer experience by providing access to various perks and benefits, such as free 2-day shipping for purchases across the Komodo family of brands, generous cashback opportunities, 10% off discounts, or early access to releases from exclusive brands such as Built, Rax, Sedici,
Money for us.
Speed Metal,
Money for us.
Street and
Money
Steel, Stockton Tools. Yeah, we didn't get paid for any of that. I don't know what you're excited about.
I didn't catch in the subliminal in that, but everyone was saying, I kept hearing somebody saying money for us.
Anyway, you can check it out at motorcycle.com if you want to read more about it. But I was just saying specifically about, Komodo wanting to be the Amazon of motorcycles. We just had this conversation. It's so funny.
Yeah, how do they get away with saying
were you talking about the little magic 8-ball or?
I have a big ball.
One big ball.
Just one.
Hey man, so I want to remind you guys.
Uniballer.
I want to remind you guys, this is not all they do. Yeah, Rob Nussbaum, will they install too?
Yeah.
Dennis Mason Jr., hello Felicia. It's the first person that's ever reciprocated.
I like it.
I want to remind you guys that this is not the only thing we do. ShopTalk is connected to a 25-year national print magazine, Cycle Source. We're proud to put that out all the time. Getting ready to celebrate our 25th anniversary at the beginning of the year as the calendar pages turn, but we're going to launch a new segment just started this month. Tell us what you guys think about it. It's a little thing we're going to call Out of Focus.
Bike in the bed of the truck.
Okay, so that's our new segment, Out of Focus. The cool thing about that is you're going to be able to see those same motorcycles that we're doing the video feature of. You'll be able to see the full feature in Cycle Source magazine. So that's something to look forward to.
Nice job, honey.
One thing I want to bring up while we were playing the segment, well, first of all, Dennis Stauber said, that's awesome. I was going to build a chopper out of a sporty tool. I tried to start it, was killing my knee. I gave it away. That's a lot like the look that we're going for with that motorcycle, though, and you're going to be building that bike with us, so you're not out of the woods on that one. At the same time that we were running the promo, or the segment, Walter Coro made us aware of another news segment that I want to get to. If you didn't have enough reason to be pissed off at Mayor Bill de Blasio, New York, New York Police Department crushes illegal dirt bikes after wave of busts. We're not playing games, Mayor Bill de Blasio said before bulldozers crushed a line of confiscated illegal dirt bikes. Now, wait a minute. Illegal, were they stolen? I mean, if they were used in illegal activities, that still doesn't, I don't understand how they had the right to do this.
I read the article. New York has made
are you implying that I didn't read the article?
I read another article. Okay. So, in New York City, dirt bikes and ATVs are just illegal. You are not allowed to have them in the city. Minimum fine is $500 and loss of the bike.
Yeah.
Wow.
But again, you don't think that they could find a way to sell those things off and make money for the city? Instead, they drive a bulldozer over them?
Listen, give them to underprivileged kids. Here's the question. Exhaust pipe or crack pipe?
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Excuse me, but lighten the F up and don't tell me what I can and cannot ride.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, man, I want to be. He goes on to say, I want to be very clear to anyone out there who has an illegal dirt bike. Don't even think about it, because New York Police Department will find out and will crush it. He said,
that right
simple as that. We're not playing games.
Oh, that makes me so mad.
Wait, look at the video. You really want to get pissed off, man?
Yeah, play the video.
I wonder how upset the guy was that had to run the bulldozer.
Wait, talking. And like they're proud of it too. See, these are the guys that weren't allowed. They weren't allowed to ride motorcycles when they were kids, and now they're getting even. All right, well, listen, that's enough, man. That was the news. We do that, like I said, this is Shop Talk. That's part of what we do. And the other part of what we do are guests, sometimes very interesting and informative. And we're thinking tonight's guest, Mr. Dave Nichols, is going to be off the hook for you guys. He's got some killer stuff to tell you about Easy Rider magazine coming back. So let's get him on the line. What's going on, buddy?
I can't believe they crushed those bikes.
How about it, right?
It's nuts.
Can't believe it.
What do you think? It's like I said, they weren't allowed to ride motorcycles when they were kids, so.
I guess so. They're probably still not allowed.
Yeah, right?
So while we were in Sturgis, I got to see, and I don't know how many people realize that this went on. This was a very, very honored procession that we got to be a part of at Mondo's Old School Chopper Show, or the Schools Out Chopper Show at the Buffalo Chip, when you reassumed the mantle of command at Easy Riders and put the ring on. Do you have the ring with you today? Obviously, right? There it is.
Absolutely, there it is.
Now tell the story.
There it is. Yeah, so the way this works is back in the early 70s when Easy Riders was out, we had these wacky people working there, and you couldn't really tell who was an editor and who wasn't an editor. And as the story goes, Rip, who was Rip Rose, who was a 1%er, he was in Daytona Beach, Florida during Bike Week, and there were guys running around saying that they were from Easy Riders magazine and asking girls to show everybody their tits. So Rip heard this, and Rip knew those guys were not from Easy Riders magazine. So he went over to them. He took their cameras. He took all the film out of the cameras, right, threw it away. And he says, "Don't ever, ever do that again." And so at that time, when he got back to the office, they said, "Well, we got to have a way for people to know that you're from Easy Riders." So they made these rings that were the logo, the skull logo, we call it. And there were only like a dozen of those made by Wango Bango back in the day. And so if you were an editor of Easy Riders, you got the ring, right? And they're the only ones that exist. So people like David Mann, when he passed, he's laid to rest wearing his ring.
Wow.
So it's not like these are, yeah, exactly, right? So it's kind of a cool story. And when they stopped doing Easy Riders and I no longer had a job, I stopped wearing the ring. But in Sturgis this year, now that Easy Riders is coming back, I put the ring back on right there in front of Chris and everybody, and it's a whole new thing, man. It's going to be very cool.
Well, listen, I gotta say this in front of God and everyone too. If anyone out there thinks, because I've had people come up to me about different magazines closing, and through all the hard times that we've gone through with print media, I've had people come up and they're like, "Oh, it's good news, right?" And I'm like, "No, it's not good news. Like, you don't understand." For a magazine like Easy Riders, in a time and in a large part of the history of motorcycles, the custom motorcycle scene, the chopper scene, a large part of that, man, like none of the straights wanted anything to do with us. So our history was contained in those pages. those were the stories of our family and our, generations of the people that built this stuff.
Lifestyle.
It's absolutely more important than, some kind of contest, some kind of bullshit contest that's going on for business. So no, I'm not happy about any of the magazines, because each magazine has its own perspective on all that. So especially with this magazine, because you guys you launched the whole revolution of this.
Yeah, opened the door.
Yeah, it's true. At the time, the only magazines that were out there, I think Roth had, Colors was out there for a short time.
Yep.
And then, and that's where David Mann came from. He was working for Ed Roth. But the whole idea of Easy Riders was always that it was about the people who ride the motorcycles. It wasn't just a nuts and bolts magazine like Cycle World or Motorcyclist or something like that, where it's like we're gonna take these two new bikes and we're gonna put them up against each other and see which one's best. It wasn't about that. It was about the lifestyle and the people who are out there and really living to ride, who really had the heart and soul for it, right? And that was the whole point. It was a lifestyle magazine. And so, Joe Teresi, who was the publisher, he's 80 years old now. A couple of years ago, he decided to sell the magazine. And of course, at the time, nobody wanted to buy a publishing company, as you can imagine. And so he ended up selling to a Canadian company. And, they're interested in having Easy Riders blue jeans and clothing lines and things of that nature, but not so much carry forth with the publishing side of things. So there's a publisher in New York named Ray Pelosi, and Ray had worked with Joe on that product that you were talking about, Chris, which is you can now purchase like a little thumb drive that has every Easy Riders ever produced.
Yeah, this is important.
554.
This is important too, because we already got comments in the comment feed. We have questions about who has the archives. Well, here they are.
Yeah, you can actually own every issue, every page is on this digital format, and you can look at all of them. You can have every issue of Easy Riders. I think it's like $60.
Yep.
Anyway, the guy who produced this is Ray Pelosi, and he befriended Joe. And first thing you know, they're talking about doing a magazine called Classic Easyriders. And so Classic Easyriders is basically Easy Riders the way you remember it back in the day, right? It's got the great bike features, bobbers and choppers, and great pans and shovels and stuff like that. It's got several big events, like the first issue is going to have the 81st running a Sturgis in it, and unusual things too. We went to the Tennessee Motorcycle and Music Revival. Mike Lichter went to an event in Russia where it was like ice racing. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff from all over the world that's going to be in Classic Easy Riders, and it's a monthly magazine. It's a paper magazine. Also has a digital component, so that for people who subscribe, you can get just the paper, you can get just the digital, or you can get both. And there's all kinds of stuff that we're doing. For the first issue is going to be out in December 7th. It'll be on the newsstands, and it's going to have all the things that you liked about Easy Riders, except there will be no nudity. And the way that we're treating women is completely different from the way they were treated in Easy Riders years ago, where they were just sort of like candy standing next to the motorcycle. Now we actually have people who ride and build bikes who are our cover girls, who talk about riding and what it means to them. And it's a whole different take.
That's been a big question since people have been finding out about this too, is what was going to happen with that, whatever you want to call it, misogynistic overtones. That's a question that comes up a lot. But here's a big thing. I just want to say this real quick because I'm super excited. I just ordered the complete history, because I'm imagining this is in digital content. This will give me the ability to make my own printout of every single piece of David Mann art for the garage.
Yeah.
because
That is correct,
it's
sir.
all in there, dude. That's so badass. That's worth $60 just in itself.
Yeah, it really is. And in the new Classic Easyriders, there will be a David Mann in the middle of every issue, and we're going to start with obviously the Ghost Rider in the December issue, because there's a whole generation who have never seen any of these, right? And we've got 300 something of these things. There it is. So yeah, you're going to have Ghost Rider, and also we're working on a deal so that when you subscribe for a year of Easyriders, you get like it's not just the poster, it's like a silk flag of the Ghost Rider that you could put up in your garage. So that'll be kind of cool.
That's awesome, man.
And also, we're working on a sweepstakes, like we used to do a sweepstakes every year. We're working with Mondo from Denver's Choppers and Steve over at Paco. And we're going to have a sweepstakes where you and Chris, since you don't work for us, you can win this.
Yeah.
Yes. It is an exact replica of the Captain America chopper from Easy Rider.
That's
with
awesome.
A real panhead motor, a real Harley Davidson panhead motor in it. Yeah.
And you know what? Of course, it's going to be the guys from Paco and Mondo that are signing on to do that stuff. But man, I'll tell you what, like Mark and I both feel like we won a sweepstakes already, because when we saw the orange bike that Mondo had at the show and all over Sturgis this year, we were just I was dying. I'm sending Mark pictures. I'm like, oh my God. And like, you know, the trick that he did with that thing to look like the old time molded
stuff.
tank, but it lifted off. And you know, I had made comments to him, and he invited Mark and I to come out. We're building our 25th anniversary bike now, and he invited us to come out and actually learn how to do the molding and stuff. And that'll just, like, I can't wait to do it. We're videotaping all that shit.
And I think the coolest part about all of this is that, I mean, this is our history. As much as people like 25 years of Cycle Source and being shoulder to shoulder through most of this, dude, Easy Riders what weaned us into this.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Your pictures and, you know, the bikes and it's take in the girls or not the girls, just the lifestyle. This was the life that we ran to.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Because we didn't fit anywhere else.
And like he said,
like that was the important thing, man. And you know, Heather, I know this is a little bit different for you, for your background. You know, you kind of came from a good family, you know, and like, and Mark had a good family too. But like the way we came up, like we were kind of misfits, you know, and that's how motorcycle people ended up together. You know, we found our way into these crazy families, and it was publications like Easy Riders and the different events and stuff that held us all together.
And everybody said, oh, well, you can't, you know, they're coming back. It's competition. Like Chris said, dude, the more the merrier.
Oh.
That brings more life into
Let's
it.
Let's celebrate this culture.
Right.
Absolutely.
Totally agree.
Right. You get the blood pumping again.
Yeah.
Right? You got to get the blood pumping again. And you know, there's a whole generation of people that haven't seen some of this stuff. I'll tell you, this is a great story. I call it Billy Tenney. Billy Tenney is still around. He's been shooting pictures, you know, for Easy Riders since like the third issue or something like that. And so I said, Billy, you've got to have like all these archives of old images of all kinds of stuff. You know, in the second issue we're doing, and for January, is a whole bit in there about the Chillicothe rodeo that just happened. Right, there's Billy.
Yep.
And Billy is going to share with the world all these cool rodeo shots that he's done from way back when. I mean, from, you know, 20, 30 years ago, some of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
So you'll see, not only will you see the Chillicothe rodeo from this year, but you'll see his picks of the best rodeo pictures of all time.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
who the heck else can do that, right?
Right.
Who else can do that except Easy Riders? So, yeah, there's a lot of neat stuff. We're going to have an In the Wind section of readers' photos, but these are old.
That's so
these
great.
are from way back then.
You know,
So,
a lot of people probably don't even understand that once upon a time, In the Wind actually came from the pages of the magazine. Like, it started as that section and became
That's
a whole
right. Yeah,
magazine.
people, they would send in pictures of the lifestyle, right? And it could be anything. It could be a guy passed out that you've poured ketchup all over, you know? It could be anything. And so, yeah, we would have this thing every month where there's 6 pages of In the Wind. and that turned into its own quarterly magazine. God bless Kim Peterson for putting it out there all those years, right?
Hey, so you want to hear a funny story real quick about that?
Yeah.
So my first editorial advice ever, and this was like, I was shaken when I got this, was from Keith Ball. And I waited all weekend. Keith was, he had called me up before we were ending when there used to be the Big Twin West, right? And
True thing.
Keith said, "Hey, I gotta come out, and we need to talk. I need to give you some advice." First thing he did was hand me a copy of Scrunk and White's Critique on Style. So that was awesome because I learned there should be no extra words in a sentence, which I needed a lot back then. But then he looked at me, and in all seriousness, we're loading out, like I'm thinking, he's blowing me off, and he finally makes time for me. He says, "Okay, this is it. Are you ready?" And I'm like, I'm waiting for the heavens to open and trumpets to play. And he looks me square in the face and he says, "Chris, nobody ever went anywhere." And in my young, drug-addled mind, I'm searching for some kind of reference, like, please, dear God, this guy's my hero. Please let me figure out what it is he's trying to tell me. And I just said, like, eventually I was like, look, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Like, we go places all the time. He said, yeah, but you don't go somewhere. He said, you slid into the bar or you exploded on the scene. He said, you got to start painting a picture for people so that even if they don't have your pictures and they see your words. So fast forward to, 15 years later, and like, thank God I'm great friends with Keith, and he's been such an influence on my life. But I get volume 1, issue 1 of In the Wind. And this was Keith's first big assignment, right? So
yeah.
I call him up one day, and I'm doing, like, we would have these regular calls where we just get together and bitch like two old guys about stuff. And I call him up, and I'm like, hey man, I said, how about some of these cats, call themselves editors of magazines? He goes, yeah. He said, blah, blah, blah. And I said, listen to this. And I start reading his first editorial. And dude, it's full of all kind of right-ons, groovies, the party bro, and like, all of this stuff. And I get about halfway through, he goes, those are my goddamn words, aren't they? It was the best.
That is terrific. Yeah, Keith has written several books,
Yeah.
And he had our copy editor at the time was Lisa Pedicini, and he had her go through those and correct them, right? And she would come into my office and go, you got to see this sentence. So what? She goes, the left-turned dragon reared its ugly vanguard.
What the?
No, wait, here's our copy editor who has had to put up with some shit.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. She
like,
turned
God
the page,
Chris.
she goes, look at this one. She goes, her religion didn't make her any bigger than a nickel. We'll go, no idea what that means. Yeah. Her parents were oblong.
That's
so
awesome.
there you have it. No, I
So
love
glad
Keith
I'm
to
not
death.
his copy editor. Nope.
I would never have gotten the job if it weren't for Keith Ball, because he brought me in and got me working on a bunch of magazines.
Well, and I have a question about that, along with like a 1,000 other questions about that whole thing back in the day, because I cannot imagine. I know when we were in the early stages of Cycle Source, and we would have company meetings. It literally was the person who was holding on to the tequila or the whiskey bottle.
I was going to say, is that what you called those?
You had to be holding the bottle to have a turn to speak.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what those early days were like for you guys.
Well, I'll tell you, this is a story that Kim Peterson told me, because this was before my time of showing up there in 1991, and that was that Kim had been there for years by that point, and Lou Kimsey was the brain behind Easyriders.
Yeah.
If you like the weird humor and how wacky and odd it was, the drug references, all the different things that made it unique back in the day, it was Lou. That was purely Lou, right? So they would do this magazine once a month, but they'd wait until the last 2 days before Blue Line to even have a magazine. So all the guys would come into the office, right? And Lou had this guy that carried his briefcase for him, and he puts the briefcase on the desk and Lou opens it up, and he goes, "Okay, Chris, yeah, you like the hashish with the reds, if I remember right, and Heather, you like LSD, but you like it with a little peyote in it. That's for you." And Mark, he would hand this stuff out and go, "Okay, everybody, let's get creative."
Oh, God.
And that's how they did it.
Oh my God, it's great.
See, we weren't too far off.
No, we really weren't. There's some stories we're not going to tell here tonight, I'll tell you that. But listen, one of the questions I have about those early days too is early Keith Ball, because Keith is such, I don't think we realize what a treasure we have in him. And he is such a fantastic intellectual. Like every time I get on the phone with him, it's good for an hour or two. It's just saying hello and goodbye. Was he always like that? Because I mean, he was kind of a thug in the beginning too, right?
Yeah, I mean, early on he was, trying to be in a major club, and I know that didn't go over well with the people who owned the magazine, because you know as well as I do, you have to really be conscientious, especially back in the 70s and 80s, to not say anything in print that's going to get you in trouble with any club, because you can't be too nice to one without being equally nice to another one.
Yep.
And you're going to piss somebody off no matter what you do. You got to be very cool about it, right? And so they were saying, really, Keith, really, this isn't working out too well with you, prospecting for this club. And when he, in the early days, he was a badass. I mean, when I was working there, and this was like 91, I walked in and Keith had the killer office with, get this folks, you walk in and there's a frame sitting, right? Not the pirate guy. No, there's a frame sitting, and there's a panhead motor in it and a transmission, and there are pipes that come up and out through a glass oval, right? And ape hangers that come up through the glass, and in the middle of the glass is his computer. So this is his desk every day, right? And one day I walked in there and I was putting something down on his desk. And so I walked around to where he would be sitting. So when he came in, he would see it. He'd sit down and it was right there in front of him, right? I looked down, and the other side of that motor, there was a hollow space down there, right? And I looked down, and there's a loaded gun in there. And it's like, he's not screwing around, man. If somebody comes in and gives him any crap, he's going to just shoot him. And he had this was great. The conference table was a real cast iron cell door with the bars in it, right?
Yeah.
With glass over the top of it. And all the seats were motorcycle seats that were like bar stools. And that's where they had their meetings.
Yep.
And I said, man, I have come to the right place.
I can say probably one of my highlights was getting to go to his garage office.
He still has that same desk.
Dude, everything that, like, the stuff he collects is amazing. Like, you can't stop looking. Your neck hurts. You have to go back the next day because you don't have enough time to see everything. Everything in that place is just freaking awesome. I could imagine that back in the early 90s. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, everything was custom. He had, in our offices, he had at least 4 beautiful custom choppers that were his, that were just in the office. You'd walk by and, there's Dicey Knuckle, and, there's the one Pat Kennedy built for him, which Rick Ellis owns now. I mean, amazing. And David Mann was, a couple miles away Joe Teresi owned this place that had been like a golf resort. And so Dave Mann lived there. And you could go, and there was a trailer, and there was Dave and Jackie in there. And you'd go up, and he'd say, you know, I need some ideas for this next centerfold. You know, what are you thinking? You could sit down with him and go, well, what if you did this, or what if you did that? And he'd start sketching. I mean, come on, that is like amazing, right?
Yes,
and
sir.
all those people, you know, you see on the masthead, it's like we had the ultimate reality TV series. You know, all we needed to do was turn a camera on, because we had every crazy character imaginable working there. It was exactly as terrific as you think it is.
Oh, man. And that's, you know, like to go back to that Mark saying about his kids, this is how we came up.
Yeah.
You know, it really was, man. Like, I can remember clear as day sneaking magazines, and I had a little stash, man, where I would keep them because, of, you know, we're getting to see boobies and stuff too. But I was just as excited to see the Miraculous Mother cartoon. Yep. You know, because it was a cultural thing. No, I think that was the boss lady.
That was the office phone. Sorry.
So, we had a couple questions come in the comment box, and I'm trying to get to you guys as fast as we can. But we got a great conversation going on here. One of them, somebody asked, if I can find it here, what happened to the Golden Chopper? I can't find your name. If you put a comment up again, maybe I can get to you. Oh, here it is. Robert Stubbs. What happened with the movie and the Golden Bike? Good Time Charlie was finishing before he passed. R.I.P. So that bike was actually raffled off for $20 tickets. All of the proceeds, thanks to the generous nature and goodwill of Dennis Sanfilippo, was all the proceeds went to the Sturgis Hall of Fame and Museum in Charlie's honor. And I believe you had the total on that, right, Heather? How much was raised?
It was just around $13,000.
Yeah. So that was everybody in that picture was involved. You know, Mondo, the guys from Paco's, the guy from SNS, like I said, Dennis Sanfilippo. You know, everyone helped push that thing along. And I'll tell you what, when we went on stage that night, boy, that was one of the hardest messages I ever delivered. Like, it was the hardest thing to talk about Charlie and that bike and everything. You know, it was when that crowd lit up, because I said to them, one of Charlie's favorite things was the fact that there's no place in the world that you get applause like you do at the Buffalo Chip, and not for the sheer number of people, because they applaud with the rev of the motor. And I said, so, you know, do this one for Charlie, man. And when I did, that place went crazy. It shook the ground, and I just thought about like the gravity of that. You know, it was such a perfect moment.
Yeah, I'll tell you, working with him on that movie was one of the most fun things I've ever done, because literally he would call me up and say, okay, I was thinking of this next scene, man, you know, this next scene, this dude comes in and he goes, do, and this guy goes, you know, and then they go off and they go to this bar, right? And, you know, you'll figure it out. And so, so then I'd sit down and I'd write it up and I'd send it back to him, and he'd go, yeah, that's perfect, that's right. And then he'd have the next scene, you know, and we're going to ride down to Louisiana, and we're going to, you know, it's like, okay. And that movie turned out to have an actual story, and it's not bad. I've seen the finished cut of the film, and I think Dennis is going to put it out there on Amazon Prime, and you're going to be able to buy, you know, DVDs to the thing and Blu-rays and stuff like that. But it's not a bad movie. It really, I mean, it marries the love of motorcycles and the blues. I mean, it's purely Charlie, and it ends up the way it's cut. We had to do a little bit different ending because we had finished shooting the movie, and then Charlie died, right? Yeah. So there's this whole ending that we made kind of a tribute to Charlie, where you see him riding this bike, you know, and it says on screen what happened, and I mean it's just like it'll bring tears to your eyes. Truly, it's something else. So hopefully within a few months that will be out in the world, and we can We can talk about Rough Boys.
Well, we'll definitely push it. And I mean, that was the second endeavor for Charlie as far as a motorcycle lifestyle major motion picture. And I mean, I can still remember when he was coming around with that. It was like, Charlie, to his credit, he figured out a lot of this stuff about digital media and social media. He was doing it before any of us were, but he always seemed like, a phrase that people use to describe me sometimes, the crazy cat lady, and like he would walk around with his phone and, hey, let's go. You're on the air with me. Come on. And he'd walk over to you and interview right there on the spot. But when he started talking about the movie thing, I started to realize, like, at first it seemed a little bit crazy, but then you realize that, like, this was our generation's turn to have a culturally based film that was going to highlight the people of the time, because Beaner was in it and Barry was in it, and like on down the list, you made a list, Nicky Boots and all these different guys that this is our generation's record of who was who, right?
Yeah. I mean, Dave Perowitz is in there. There's so many people from the industry in Rough Boys and in Rebel on the Highway, and he had this idea. he saw a TV show where they were talking about that book, The Secret, and how this guy had an idea to bury these secret like treasures all over the country.
Yeah.
And you would have to buy the book and read this poem and look at this painting to figure out what city this one treasure is in. And he goes, we could do that in the movie. And yeah, okay. So the whole idea was, as you're watching the film throughout the movie, there are clues throughout the movie that tell you where that gold chopper was going to be. And then at the end of it, you were going to go to a website and you were going to say where you think it is. And the first person who really got it correct was going to win that gold chopper.
Yep.
And so that's the whole thing. And obviously after he passed, Dennis says, I'm not going to do that. I just want to do something good with it, give it away at the chip, and have the proceeds go to the Hall of Fame.
Well, and I'll tell you what, we had the young man that won that motorcycle on. I honestly can tell you that it couldn't have went to a better place, because he is a chopper guy through and through, second generation at least from what I can tell, and he's going to ride that thing till the day he dies, I bet.
That's what you want. That's exactly what you want.
Yeah. And what a great tribute to him. Yeah. I mean, you can't get any better than that.
Yes, sir.
No.
So we have the very distinct pleasure of having Mr. Mondo Porras on with us. Always great when Mondo drops by the show, and he says, ask Dave about his part in the Biker Build-Off series on Discovery.
Oh, okay. Well, friends, you may remember the Discovery Channel had a couple of interesting things happen. One is they had this show on in which Jesse James was seen making a tank with his bare hands, right? He's smashing this thing and he's making this tank. Well, the way these TV shows originally happened is that there was a videotape editor named Hugh King that edited the Easyriders videos way back in the day. Hugh got a job.
I didn't know that.
He got a job at a production company with Tom Beers. And Beers had this idea to do a TV series called On the Inside, which was basically weird occupations that people have. So they did one episode on a rodeo clown. They did another episode on an underwater welder, okay? And so Hugh called me and said, we want to do a show on a young custom bike builder. It's got to be in Southern California, got to have a lot of attitude. And I said, come with me. I took him down to Jesse's place, and I said, see the pit bulls? See the shark tank? See all the weird, welding stuff going on here with like spider webs and whatnot. And, Jesse was being Jesse, and he said, okay, yeah, that's a show. And they did this show. It was On the Inside, Motorcycle Mania. It went out there it was the highest rated show on any cable network ever.
Yeah.
So they decided to do Motorcycle Mania 2, Motorcycle Mania 3, and that spun into Monster Garage. And then they decided, well, we should do more motorcycle related TV shows because people like that. Separately from all that, Pilgrim Productions was doing a pilot for American Chopper with the Tuttles. And the pilot was not about throwing wrenches and yelling at the kid. It was just about building a bike.
Yeah.
But this one scene where Senior got angry and threw a wrench and yelled at the kid, and they went, more of that. We want more of that. Go and get us more of that. And so they built the show around him yelling at the kid. And then that was on the air. Well, all this is going on. And the woman in charge of Discovery Channel was a woman named Jane Root. And she didn't like these shows. She hated them. She called them testosterone TV. She wanted the network to go back to being about like Planet Earth, about science and nature and stuff that would be, you know, a little bit more analytical and maybe forward thinking than guys throwing wrenches at each other. So she had this agenda to get rid of all those shows. At the same time, we were doing a show called The Great Biker Build-Off. And what would happen is the producers of the show didn't know anything about motorcycles. So they would call me up and say, okay, here's what we need. We need a guy in the north and a guy in the south. We need one of them to be an old guy, one of them to be a young guy. And they battle it out. Each builds a bike, and we ride it somewhere. And then people vote to see who wins that episode, who had the better bike. So I said, okay, Dave Perowitz against Billy Lane. You know, it's no... You got Dave Perowitz up there in New Hampshire. You got, you know, Billy down in Florida. Young against old, total different building styles.
Yeah.
And so every episode, literally, Hugh would say, okay, who's next? And so all these people that had been in Easy Riders ended up being on the Biker Build-Off show, and Mondo was one of them. You know, and people would, bike builders would call me and go, how do I get in that show? You know, and it's like, well, you got to be able to build a really good bike in about 7 days. Can you do that?
I think the coolest thing of that whole story was, did you ever notice every time somebody says Dave Perowitz's name, they talk like Dave Perowitz? Like it never fails. It's so fantastic.
Oh, man.
Yeah, there's Dave Perowitz. And there's Ron Finch.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Hey, Chris, you got to see this new bike that I'm building. It's going to blow your mind.
Dude, that's so
funny. That's all part of the fun, right?
What a cool story, though, of the backside.
Yeah.
I mean, go figure. Mondo pitches in for 1 second, changes the whole... Like, you know, he reads people's mind. He changed the whole perspective on that just by one comment.
So listen, one comment. Rob Nussbaum says, so they fired Jane.
Yeah.
Like right after the next show took off like wildfire, they fired Jane, of course.
Yeah, but not before the damage had been done. And I'll tell you, it was a lot of damage, because when they pulled all of those motorcycle-related shows off of Discovery Channel,
Yeah.
think about what happened in the industry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
At the same time, the whole banking scandal happened, right?
Yeah.
And all those people that took their home equity money and got a $35,000 big dog, it stopped overnight, right? I mean, all of a sudden, choppers weren't cool anymore, and they weren't on TV, and it just started going downhill. It went back to being the way it was before all that, because you know there was a time when the coolest thing that could happen to you if you were a custom bike builder was to get your bike on the cover of a chopper magazine.
Yeah.
Then that went away, because then the coolest thing was to be on the Biker Build-Off show, or to be on, you know, some that's a chopper type show. And then that all went away. And then it got to be really cool to be on a magazine cover again, you know.
Nope.
Thank goodness. Yeah.
So you had a couple pictures that you sent in that I want to make sure that we get to take a look at. I'm assuming this is stuff from the upcoming premiere issue.
Yeah, there's some pictures that we did. There's a picture of Mondo's chopper. That's a beautiful chopper that looks like a chip bike. You see the paint.
Yeah. This was one of the two in Sturgis that were like, they were just epic choppers. Perfect examples of that whole era.
Well, and now here's something. This is Mara, and a lot of people know Mara. She's a tattoo artist in Los Angeles, and she is pictured with Paul Cox's gorgeous Indian custom bike that was at Mike Lichter's show. Okay, so the difference here, folks, is this is shot outside, and that's something you hardly ever saw with Easyriders in the 90s and 2000s. Was everything was shot in a studio. And the publisher, Ray Pelosi, decided this is where we need to go. And the women who are pictured on the covers actually ride motorcycles.
Huh.
Yeah, they actually know what they're talking about. You know, and so here we got a beautiful Indian bike and Mara. And these are just different ideas for covers. Don't know which one will actually be the real cover, but just to whet your appetite. Hey, I know that guy.
So good though to see that traditional masthead again, man. Like that's so badass.
Yeah, that's history right there.
Yep.
And I'll tell you, if you're a magazine and you have a problem with that, you're jealous or you're scared.
You need to check yourself.
Yeah, right.
You need to think about what you're saying.
Yeah,
well, and it's all going to be real stuff and real people and no nonsense. You know, it's what it originally was. It's what it should be. And that's what you'll be getting, folks, if you subscribe today to ClassicEasyriders.com.
You know, and it's funny because, you know, we noticed that David Crum posted, can you move the girl out of the way to see more of the bike? And it's funny because years ago it was like, you know, the people whipped that magazine open solely to look at the girl, you know, in some cases. But now it's like everybody's feeling that political correctness, the empowerment and, you know, the women riders and this and that. And is a joke, move her out of the way so I can see more of the bike. But it's cool that people actually see that, you know, like there is more to that girl than just, you know, her standing there naked and there's a motorcycle. So, you know, it's nice that it has changed.
I might be unpopular for saying this, but I'm okay with celebrating a little bit of toxic masculinity. Well, you know what I mean? Like,
of course,
just the same as I'm okay with celebrating a little bit of toxic femininity. Like, yeah, go get some.
Yep.
You know, if it's a problem, that's a different story. But come on, let's be who we are, right?
Yeah, and on top of that, there is still as much beauty in the bike as there is in the woman that's with the bike. I mean, it's just how classy you put it forward.
You're just saying, you're afraid that girl's going to see you out somewhere and smack you in the mouth.
Oh, that's
How about 5 across your lips?
I'll go home. Dana will do it. I ain't got nothing to worry about. So I'm golden.
Right on, man. Well, listen, thank you so much for taking time to be here with us tonight. And I'm hoping, you know, we always had a great relationship between the two magazines. I'm hoping that, you know, that continues and we get to do even more together. Anything that you guys need that we can possibly provide, an extra hand, a shoulder to cry on when the shit hits the fan. As you have always been there for us, my man, we'll be there for you too. But thank you so much for the time tonight.
Oh, you bet, Chris, and same right back at you, buddy, because we're all in this together.
That's it.
That's for sure.
That's it. All right, man. Well, we'll get you on here again soon and continue this conversation. But good luck to you for sure.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
All righty. Yeah. So that's the news, man. The news is Easyriders is back. I can't wait to see what's going on. There's 1,000 other questions about what's going to happen from here, but I think I'm most excited about the fact that, like, you can buy every single issue in the digital copy, and, you know, for nothing else. Like, imagine putting like the old Red Rider artwork in frames to put up on the garage, and Miraculous Mother stuff, and eventually Red Rider, but morphs into White Line Willie, and God, all that stuff was great. It was great. Hey, listen, I want to remind you guys, you're watching Shop Talk. We are going a little long tonight because it was good conversation. We follow that where it goes, but we go live with this show every Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern, through the courtesy of the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. And if you will stick around for just 2 and 2, we're going to come back. We got some product stuff for you, and we're going to cut you guys loose. But don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Shop Talk.
Everything we do at the track shapes what we build for the street and the dirt.
You can see how bad these guys want it. A race to the line.
For us, racing is not for the trophies or the glory. We compete because it makes everything we do faster, more durable, and tested to a higher standard. For S&S, racing is the ultimate in proven performance, and we've been proving it since 1958.
Hey, it's Billy from Twisted Tea. We're live in Sturgis, and you're watching Shop Talk.
We're the Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers. We understand the challenges riders face every day. As riders, we want to share the road and be seen by motorists. Remaining visible is critical to our safety and well-being. That's why we work tirelessly to promote motorcycle safety and awareness. We're proud to support our community that includes riders of all stripes. If you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS or visit lawtigers.com. The Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers.
Have you built a bike you'd like to show off? Would you like it showcased on an awesome website and have a shot at some sick prizes? Then Garage Build wants to see your ride. It's super easy. Just go to garagebuild.com, enter your information, and share your stories. Don't forget to upload your photos and videos and tell us what it took to build your ride. Your build could be featured on our Facebook page and our Instagram page, and some might even make it into Cycle Source magazine. Everyone that submits a build will receive a free Garage Build hat and a chance at a $250 Dennis Kirk gift card. After you've entered your build, support your fellow builders by rating and commenting on your favorite bikes. If you're not a builder and you still want to participate in the action, go to view the builds on Garage Build's site. Let the owners know what you think of their unique rides by rating and commenting. Enter your email address for a chance to win a $100 Dennis Kirk gift card. Don't forget to follow Garage Build on Facebook and Instagram. You just might see your ride featured. There's going to be 2 contests per year. So head over to DennisKirksGarageBuild.com now for your chance to win. I'm Dylan with Dennis Kirk. We'll see you guys next time.
Little bit off on the count on that one, but hey, welcome back to the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. I'm Chris with Cycle Source Magazine, and you are watching Shop Talk. I want to give a big shout out to all of our sponsors, not least of which to say Dennis Kirk for helping us get this show out every week. If you dig what we're doing here, participate in the show, man. That's all we're asking. Put your comments up, like and share, get it out further and further as we go on, and we'll keep doing it. But tonight, pretty good show, right?
Dennis Kirk is going to save your ass again this week. We got some parts we got to get over.
And that's how it happened. That's how the relationship got tighter and tighter with Dennis Kirk, because I am last minute ass on fire all the time. And if you guys have dealt with them, like, Heather's not kidding. They save me time and time again. Hey, along with the tech we do here, Feature Bikes, the entertainment that we try to provide you guys with, we usually have a little new product segment. I want to go to the reels right now and hit you up something from Fueling.
Hey, this is Chris with Cycle Source Magazine's Grease and Gears Garage, and we're in the shop today for a new product spotlight. Today's new product spotlight is on the Fueling HP Plus 465 Cam Chest Kit, chain driven for Milwaukee 8s. So biggest reason to use this product is that all the components are made to be used together by Fueling. It ensures, you know, if any of you guys have done this motor work over the years, you're always better off to stay with some consistency when it's available. Everything has been made to work with each other. Let's go through the kit real quick. Obviously, Fueling's billet, high pressure oil pump, their high flow cam chest plate, the fixed length push rods all come in the kit. Hydraulic roller lifters come with the kit. The Reaper cam, complete set of Cometic gaskets to go along with this, brand new studs, brand new hardware, new Timken cam bearing, all in the package. You get all of this together. 15 to 25 degrees cooler is what's reported on this for your engine. Also has substantial increase in oil pressure. So that's what you're looking at in the overall end result with this. You have a quieter motor, quality parts that are going to keep your engine healthy and happy. Kit comes in at $16.95 retail. You can check it out today at DennisKirk.com. Tell them the guys from Grease and Gears Garage sent you. Until next time, I'm Chris with Cycle Source Magazine, and this is the new product spotlight.
So I got a question real quick. How many of those product things did you guys have me do in a row that day? Because I looked like I was strung out on drugs, man.
You did like 12 of them that day. You were like, woof, 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 woof.
Was I on a bender or something? My hair's all sticking out and shit.
I was just looking at that. I'm like, wow, he looks kind of rough in that one. What happened?
Man.
You just shut up and keep pushing parts.
Listen, though, I got to tell you guys, you know, we do that stuff. And obviously, you know, it's part of our relationship with the sponsors and stuff, but it's all companies that we believe in. It's good products. We want to bring you guys. You're never going to see one of us stand here and pump some bullshit to you that's not something that we actually believe in, because trust me, we've done a couple of them, and as I'm listening to them, I'm like, yeah, we're not doing that one. And
I've
we
been
throw
told
it
to
out.
Shut up before.
So,
yeah,
hey.
you know, I watched you. If you don't think it's a quality product, you'll be like, okay, let's package that one up and send it back. And
because you can tell, and I'm, you know, man, where we started this magazine from was from hardworking blue collar people that, like, you know, that put money into a motorcycle. You got to make some hard decisions about which kid's not getting shoes this month, you know. So I'm not going to turn anybody on to something that I don't believe in myself. But
yeah, and in all reality, we kill ourselves enough in the first place. We don't need somebody sending us a part that's going to make our jobs even worse.
Right.
So,
amen. But listen, man, if you dig what we're doing, we do this every Sunday, 9 p.m., and we're looking for your information, because right now, everybody says that the motorcycle year is coming to an end. But boy, I'll tell you what, when we look at the events calendar, nothing could be further from the truth. And with that, we are going to our events girl, Miss Ever Ready, with the event report. Heather, take it away.
oh my good Lord, that was a little dramatic, Christopher. So yeah, I can't believe the number of events that are left this year. I'm going to try to do these in order, and I know I don't have them all, but here we go. Our good buddy Ron over at High Voltage Show has motorcycle and chopper drag races this Tuesday night at the Milwaukee Mile. Gates open at 5, pits open at 6, races start at 7. This Saturday, Glory Days at Cary Furnace in Pittsburgh, 12 to 7. We'll be there visiting. Hope to see you guys there. Cheap Thrills is this weekend. I wish I was going here too. Geez. Friday and Saturday night, I heard talk of pool party and mini bike races and a whole bunch of shenanigans over there. Next, Nitty Gritty Chopper City. This is put on by our friend Eric Vaughn over at Destroyer Garage at the Backwoods Saloon. Camping, good old chopper party this Friday and Saturday. Again, I wish I could be there too. October 9th, Salt City Flat Track out in Salt Lake City, Utah. You should be there. October 9th, that is at the Utah State Fairgrounds. K River Stubborn American Party. Chris should just go there because I think he named it after him. This is put on by Adam Sandoval at his campground. It's a weekend-long party. Again, a bunch of shenanigans, mini bike races, bike games, and on and on. That, again, krivercampground.com, and you can check that out. Old Town Revival. This is by our friends over at Foundation Moto. Denver Paul is putting this on October 2nd in Cornelius, North Carolina.
Aren't we bringing Denver Paul on to talk about this too?
Yep, they're going to be on next Sunday night to talk about this event. So tune in then and you'll get to hear all about it. Southern Throw, another one I wish I could go to them all. Southern Throwdown 8. This is usually held in Deep Ellum, Texas, but they actually moved it to Oliver's new venue, Yellow Rose Canyon, out in Enterprise. It's a vintage chopper and van show, camping on site this year, and good music, good people, good bikes. The Congregation Show, October 9th. That is in Charlotte, North Carolina at Camp North End. And that is put on by, I just totally lost my train of thought.
Loser.
Prism Supply and Dice Magazine host that. So that's October 9th. Virginia City Roundup. This is hosted by Choppers Magazine, October 8th and 9th in Virginia City, Nevada. Rodeo, motorcycle, and truck show.
I like trucks.
Oh, cannot skip this one. Chopper Town, the greatest chopper show on earth, Thursday, October 14th at Willie's Tropical Tattoo. Registration technically starts at 11. I'd be there by 9 or 10 if you want to get a good spot. It's going to be a great one. We don't ever miss it, and we hope to see you there too. And Willie's up and at it, and he's ready to go. So
you should mention that the following 2 days from Willie's are practice at Sons of Speed
Chris
and racing.
Chris is gonna risk a life and limb to entertain y'all at the New Smyrna Speedway on Tom Kiefer's motorcycle.
Did you get that insurance policy signed yet?
I actually talked to my insurance agent. Yes.
This is a new one. We were waiting to help push this one a little bit.
Yeah, this is our friends Larry and Karen Moore out in Wichita, Kansas. They had set up to do the show in 2020, but the old C word knocked it off the schedule. So they're back at it again this October. And our friend Pat Jansen is going to be hosting that event. So please go support that October 15th through 17th. And that, again, is in Canvas. And you can get more Kansas Canvas. You can get more information at thechill.info.
So I got to tell you, like, it's become popular culture for people to say the old C word or the C word. And, like, every time they do...
The politically correct C word, not the old C word.
I see.
Right.
The old C word. Well, no. Like,
don't say the old C word.
No.
Yeah. No, you meant...
I would never say that one.
You meant the politically correct C word.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Of course.
Now that we got that situated.
I don't know what you're thinking about, dirty girl. He was actually going to say chauvinist.
Cancer.
He was going to say...
Wow.
And that's why I married her, ladies and gentlemen, right there. God, I love...
Du Bois Custom Plating, yes, we are going to the Lone Star Rally. We would not miss that. We've got a bike show on Saturday, bike games on Friday, Torque Performance Show, and the Black Smoke Sinners are playing Saturday night at Seawall.
Booyah!
All right, opening for Hairball, by the way.
Woo-hoo.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we will be there. Everybody, we hope to see you there.
I want to remind you guys about a couple things. Not only can you tune in next Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern, and every Sunday to catch this show, and I hope you will, but also in its entirety, you can tune in to every episode we've ever done through our YouTube channel, and you can watch every one of those episodes by going there. And now, thanks to the work of Robin and Heather through the last couple weeks, every single podcast episode is up and ready for your listening enjoyment. So whether you go through Stitcher or the Google deal or Apple iTunes, you can get every episode we've ever done now up to and including episode 167, which was just last week. You can check that out at motoshoptalk.com. All the news and information that you might be looking for everything that we can get our hands on, including all of the events that you just heard. If you're looking for more information about those events, you can find every one of them on the CycleSource magazine news blog at cyclesource.com. I invite you to go over, get your information so you don't miss events like Glory Days coming up this weekend.
Oh, Chris, show them the digital issues on the upper left.
Upper left.
No, well, not
in this issue.
Mid left. There you go.
So yeah, you can go to this site. Let me get a nice big screenshot here. Look, I'm blowing it. I didn't know there was going to be a test.
Really?
I wasn't looking at his neck.
What mole?
You had one job, honey. One.
Oh, see.
Hello.
Go ahead. Let's try that again. So there's the digital edition. You can flip through just like you would expect. And if you find something cool, like this seat from Drag, I'm going to go get it. Boom. You're in. So all the stories, everything, you know, after the magazine comes off the newsstand, Heather puts that stuff up there for you guys for reference and whatever you need. So check it out. And that's all I got for you. Heather?
I think that was a lot. We packed that.
I know.
I almost fell asleep halfway through that.
Now I need a nap. Actually, now it's time for bed.
Big D, everybody hanging in with us till the nitty-gritty end. We appreciate all you guys. Thank you for being here with us. As always, thanks for sharing a little bit of your time, a little bit of your headspace. If you have a motorcycle event coming up, please email those into the magazine. We'd be happy to include you in our events. If you have a product, if you have some tech you want to share, get a hold of us, man. We're looking for stuff all the time.
Absolutely. Almost flannel season.
Mark, that's a shot at you.
Wow.
The Flannel Mafia is chiming in.
They don't have a shot at me anymore. I don't even know who they're kidding. They can't compete with me. My flannels are real old.
OG. You rocking the OG.
I got OG flannels.
See this? That shit's cotton, boy. I ain't talking about no Dixon flannel. That's old cotton.
I don't even know what you boys talking about.
I got that from LL Bean, boy.
Okay, say goodnight, fellas.
Good night, fellas. No, listen, seriously, till next week when we come back at you with more Shop Talk from the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. I appreciate and love all you guys. Be safe out there. Go get some motorcycle digging in because the year is seriously coming to an end. Until we get together once more, same chopper time.
Same chopper channel.
Bye, Felicia.
He said it. He said bye, Felicia. He likes pizza.